It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Thursday, the 20th of November. I'm Michael Groff. Okay, so obviously my little sore throat turned into a full-blown episode of laryngitis, and it's been about 7 years since I've had to deal with that on these videos. But please bear with me to the best of my ability. I will get through this. There's not going to be any edits or do-overs, so what you get is what you get, for better or worse. The real raw video right here. No outtakes, baby. All right. I had to come in. Normally, I would have taken the day off, but man, what a wild day yesterday weather-wise, especially for the West Valley. I know our friends in the Central and East Valley, you guys probably felt like you got cheated with just some light precipitation, but over on the west side, just after 4 p.m., my goodness, those showers and thunderstorms just blew up. We had strong winds, some very heavy rain, but the big story was this right here. How about the hail? There was a lot of it from Avondale, Goodyear, Cashin, up through West Phoenix, Glendale, even Surprise. Now, I got some reports from outside of Phoenix, too. One of our viewers down by Tucson said they had hail completely covering the ground as well. So that was just the kind of environment we had yesterday. This is a video from not too far from Studio B. This is down on Lower Buckeye, just west of 99th Avenue. It looks like a winter wonderland down there. That is hail. It was covering the ground. Again, a couple of people said a couple inches deep at least. Generally dime to quarter-sized hail. And, you know, this is the time of year. It was only about 6 years ago, almost to the day, that we had a major hailstorm here across West Phoenix and the West Valley. Again, here at Studio B, we had hail that completely covered the ground and stuck around for about 8 hours that day. So we can get that here in the month of November. It does happen sometimes. Are we going to see a repeat performance of that today? What about for this weekend? We'll talk about that. Well, what I euphemistically will call talking about it, given the voice, and so much more as we dive on in and discuss. First, let's take a look at that almanac from yesterday. 66 degrees was the high temperature. That occurred right around 1 p.m. 55 was the low during the evening hours. 75 and 52 are the averages for this time of year. Officially, in the bucket at Sky Harbor, 1,707 inch of rain. I know, doesn't seem like this has been a very impressive storm system if you look at Sky Harbor's numbers, but man, some folks in the West Valley, this storm system has produced anywhere from 1 to as much as 4 inches of rain. And we've had some very impressive rain up north as well. As you'll see on our Chiron, your Flagstaff had yet another record rainfall day yesterday with 1.2 inches. They also had 9/10 of an inch of snow up there. Outside now, here at about 9:30 a.m., we've got mostly cloudy skies, still some light showers around, 56 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew point's 51, 84% the humidity. The wind is calm, the barometer is rising. Satellite out here across the west, we put it in motion. You can see that area of low pressure just kind of spinning around that produced those showers and thunderstorms yesterday. The cold air aloft helped to really bring out that hail with the extra instability that we had going on. And yes, we did talk about that a little bit yesterday. I figured we'd get a little bit of hail, maybe not quite that much, but that sometimes can happen here in the month of November with these systems. Closed lows do weird things sometimes. The watch warning map, flood watches over parts of Texas, dense fog over sections of Iowa, some of the adjacent states, a freeze warning for parts of southeast Arizona, but things are mostly quiet across the nation right now. Convective outlook, a marginal risk of severe storms over parts, a good portion of Texas, Oklahoma, western Arkansas. In the southwest parts of Arizona in the green, again, we don't anticipate organized severe weather, but just like yesterday, a storm that pops up, oh, sure, it could produce some hail. It could produce some gusty winds. You have to be aware of that. All right, the tropics, nothing going on here. I'm not even going to waste my voice talking about it. Atlantic, Caribbean, Gulf, East Pacific, quiet as a mouse and will remain so. Closer to home, the precipitation outlook valid through Thursday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix about 1/3 of an inch, maybe as much as 1/2 an inch in some spots. That includes the rain we're seeing around here this morning. Our next real opportunity for precipitation comes in here tomorrow night, Saturday, and maybe lingers into early Sunday. And we're going to talk about that right now. As we get to the models, have a look at things. This is the GFS. It is the 06Z run valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. All right, there's our one system is kind of weakening. It's beginning to move on out. Got another system dropping down the California coast. That'll be our next weather maker, closing off into another upper low. What it all means for us down at the surface for the rest of the day today. How about mostly cloudy this morning? We'll start to see the clouds moving out later today. Still some showers and an isolated thunderstorm possible this morning, then decreasing this afternoon. High temperatures should top out in the low to mid 60s. Absolutely beautiful weather for tonight. Mostly clear early, but then turning mostly cloudy overnight. Our next system will be kind of moving on down the west coast. We'll start to see more clouds rotating in here. Overnight lows tonight mainly in the 50s, although I suppose some of the cooler valley locations might just very well dip into the upper 40s. Let's go to tomorrow for your Friday. A lot of clouds around. There might be a shower here in Phoenix sometime tomorrow. I just don't think it's a great chance. The majority of the precipitation should stay to the west of us. Western, southwest Arizona, southeast California. That's where you're going to find the bulk of precipitation with this next feature coming in for now. But we'll still call for a 20% chance of rain. And over the higher elevations, I suppose there could be a little bit of rain and snow. But high temperatures tomorrow, again, low to mid 60s. Here's Saturday. That next weather system comes through. Now, the bulk of the energy with this system, the main dynamic support will probably stay just to the south of us. Had this low taken a bit more of a northerly trajectory, this system could have been a pretty robust precip producer for us, but as it is, at least shown here, it looks like we'll see mostly just scattered, mainly light showers off and on through the day on Saturday. Now, that's not to say we couldn't see a locally heavy shower or an isolated thunderstorm. That could always happen in a setup like this, but for the most part, the precipitation will be scattered. It will be mainly light to occasionally moderate, and should primarily favor the central and southern part of the state. If you want to find the heavier precipitation, you might have to go just south of the international border. Anyway, on Saturday, high temperatures again, somewhere in the mid 60s. Here's Sunday, maybe some morning showers, but that'll be decreasing through the day. Clouds will move on out. High temperatures mostly in the mid to upper 60s. Here we go toward Monday. And now we're going to enter into an extended period of drier weather. Northwesterly flow is going to set up here. High pressure is going to build to the west of us. Drier conditions, lows mostly in the 40s to near 50, highs upper 60s to near 70. Beautiful fall weather around here. And it's basically the same story Tuesday. Upper 60s, low 70s, lows 40s to low 50s. Same story on Wednesday. The sky is mostly sunny. There might be some high clouds that come through on Wednesday, but other than that, the air mass stays dry. And high temperatures will hold somewhere in the upper 60s and low 70s. Precipitation chances will stay well to the north of us over the Pacific Northwest and the Intermountain West. A week from today, this is Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. Oh yes, it is looking beautiful here in the Southwest. I'd say at best a few clouds, but otherwise we're dry. Mostly sunny, high temperatures, mid 70s here in south central Arizona, including Phoenix. Gorgeous. That's actually a little bit above seasonal averages. So I hope you enjoy it. Should be a nice Thanksgiving Day. Models agree on that. This is Friday, the 28th, Black Friday. How about it? Looks nice. Dry westerly flow. Temperatures still holding somewhere in the mid 70s if this verifies. End of the forecast period. This is Saturday the 29th. And the GFS is starting to get a little sneaky here. Dropping an upper low down the Pacific Northwest coast. And just beyond this period, it tries to push this down into the southwest for a very active period of weather here to begin the month of December. I'm not ready to buy into that just yet. I know we've seen that from some of our models out here, but this is out here at Fantasyland, folks, and I think we've got some time to sort of watch this and see how it plays out, because I'll tell you, most of the European, well, a good contingent of the European deterministic and ensemble members do not show this or show some sort of weakened system, but we'll see what happens. I mean, that could be interesting, but for now, looks like we'll close out the month of November on a dry note. Looking at rainfall for Phoenix out through the 4th of December. This is off the GFS ensemble. And again, the mean is up close to an inch. It's over that here on the Euro ensemble. And again, I think this has been a little bit overdone. The Euro AI ensemble, same thing, 1.5 inches rain on the ensemble mean. Now, the caveat to that is that the Euro AI ensemble, depending on where you are, I mean, it really nailed this weather event too. At no point did we ever expect, and I know there's been some talk in the comments about this, but at no point did we expect the storm systems that we've seen since last Saturday through today and through this coming weekend to come anywhere close to what we had in late September and early October. That was just not going to happen. Those involved tropical systems. We didn't have that kind of moisture with these features. Nevertheless, there were some impressive rainfall totals across the state. There was some impressive severe weather. There was snow up north. So the system still did pretty well in terms of how it was forecast and how things kind of turned out. There was obviously, when you're talking about scattered thunderstorms, that's just how it works sometimes. Temperatures off the national blend of models, the trend is up after a nice cool day today, tomorrow, Saturday. We're going to start to warm it up as we go into next week with highs getting back to slightly above average levels, mainly mid-70s. CPC outlook, November 27th through the 3rd of December, the 8 to 14 day period. And look at there. The guys over at CPC are starting to skew the probability back toward above average temperatures here. Precipitation, though, curiously enough, still kind of skewed toward above average. And I wonder if we're going to see more active weather coming down the West Coast in the early part of December. The GFS and its ensemble members seem to think so. We'll just see. I'd like to speculate about that more, but I'd also like to talk sometime soon. All right, that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video back here tomorrow morning. Like, subscribe, comment, share, all that YouTube stuff. Click that thanks icon below the video if you want to support the channel. It helps me to buy more cough medicine, throat lozenges, I suppose. PayPal, groffshow@gmail.com. That's GROFF show@gmail.com for PayPal. Venmo linked up below. Executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion, my OAO, sweetest of all time Asian sensation, it's my Michelle. She is the proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and that Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona. So check that out. What else? Our streaming station, KMGX. Check that out, linked up in the description below. And Dan over at the Courtroom Files YouTube channel. Even if these are my last words, I will tell you to please check out Dan's channel. He has supported us. Please support him. I would not cut that out of my video, that is for sure. Do check out Dan over at the Courtroom Files YouTube channel or courtroomfiles.com for all your Courtroom Files merch. All right. I am going to drink some more tea. I am going to drink a little bit more Coke Zero. I've got water over here. I've got all the beverages. I've got my cough medicine. I've got these cough drops. All right. I am loaded. I am ready to go. I wish I was actually loaded, drunk, but that's probably not good for getting better. So instead, I'm just going to do it, the old-fashioned way, and that is, with the cough drops and cough medicine and all that. All right, thank you again so much for bearing with me. Please, I want you guys to be safe. Have yourselves a delightful rest of your, what is today? Oh yeah, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Oh my goodness.